Welcome to the Casual Camping Podcast, your home for the best camping discussion both in and out of the field. Here are your hosts, Tim and Ade.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Casual Camping Podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Ade. Thanks for joining us again on our wonderful, laughable, funny podcast.
It's a journey into the camping sublime. Whatever that means.
Well, I think you and I both love camping. Our listeners that keep on coming back, some of them are saying that they're coming back for you and me, which is crazy talk.
It's a bit creepy, to be honest. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with those people.
Have we got a stalker yet, Tim? Have we got a stalker yet?
You know who you are. Names on a stuck down envelope, please.
Yeah. Well, what have you been up to?
I went to sunny Belfast this week.
Ooh, was it sunny?
It was actually. We had two little bits of rain, but they were only drizzly bits, so nothing bad at all. I went to see Liam Gallagher of that Oasis fame, who was pretty epic, I have to say. And Kasabian, not all of our listeners will know Kasabian, they're probably just a UK band. They were less so. They were quite disappointing, I have to say. Yeah,
wow.
really quite poor. But and then we went to see the Titanic Museum, which was unbelievably brilliant. If anybody gets the opportunity to go to Belfast, great city, really friendly people, really great Guinness, and the Titanic Museum is just fantastic. But you did something far more relevant to a camping podcast. What did you do?
Well, I went camping. And before I tell you about that, can I just say, is there any great Guinness?
Oh,
there you go. I've divided the listeners. Yeah, divided the listeners instantly. And my impression of Belfast is kind of grey and rain coming in sideways. As like if I think of Belfast, because I think I've only been once, and that's what it was doing when I was there. But they do say that the Guinness tastes different over there. I don't like it over here. I don't know why I try it over there. So
yeah. I suppose you've got to like it in the first place. It's I've always liked Guinness. It looks a dark, heavy beer, but actually it's totally not. It tastes quite light and it goes down really well. I don't know whether it actually tastes any different over there. They certainly pour it differently. It takes them at least an extra, I don't know, 3/4 of an hour to pour a pint for you. And they do bring it over and they're all really nice about it. But that in itself, I think just makes it settle more. It was really nice. I managed to drink a few. It were good. It were right good.
Well, yeah, I'm not somebody that really likes to wait for my pint. I hate going out drinking when people are drinking cocktails because they're 10 minutes before you get your drink. What?
Yeah.
I'd be halfway on to the next one by then. So, yeah, maybe we
did get some cocktails at one point. I did think about getting a beer chaser to drink while I was waiting while they did the cocktails. I did think about doing that. I didn't do it because I thought I was probably just a bit.
Yeah, I know the cocktails are more expensive, but I just think time's money. Time's money. How many pints could you have served in that time?
Yeah, there's only so many drinking hours in the day.
I went camping, and as some listeners or followers of our Facebook accounts and Instagram and various other things will have seen from the last week that we were messing around in my garden with a camp bed and the Birken Wheel swag to see whether or not we could get it off the ground. So as I'm a fella of a certain age, getting up off the ground sometimes isn't what I want to be doing when I'm camping. and you had a spare camp bed.
I did. Spare
Look at
large
you.
camp bed.
Yeah. Okay, calm it down.
No, it's only because I used to be much fatter myself. I'm just
Right,
sharing it
okay.
with you because you are much fatter than me.
Tim, some things can just be implied. You don't have to say them.
You are not much fatter than me. You've lost loads of weight. You look really, really handsome.
Oh dear. So yes, a lovely weekend. It was gorgeous weather Friday daytime, and Saturday was also very good. But we went Friday night, came back just to meet up with friends we've not caught up for a while, and went to a really strange campsite in Worcestershire. And I say strange because a guy was lopping down trees just before I got there to make more of the campsite. So I don't think it's been running that far. And it was, had to carry all my stuff in, park up the car somewhere and stuff. And I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. The campsite was nice. The company was good. I burnt some stuff. I drank some beer. We went for a little walk down by the river. And so that was all good. It was brilliant. So,
Fab. What was your weather like?
as I said before, it was a lovely sunny day on a Friday. So, yeah, it was just very nice. And yeah, tested out because although we did do the swag in the back of the garden, tested out what was it like on a night, and it was super duper. It really was.
Fab.
Easy setup, which swags are, and. Although it felt, because it's not as wide as the swag was, it felt that it cocooned you a little bit more, a little bit of a dip. If I was to suggest anything more, maybe like a little platform on top of the thing, but it's not needed by any means. But it was good to play around. And
Cool.
You and I, you've had that idea for a while. You brought it over, we played, and then I tested it out on a night out. So woo!
I think that's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, Burke and Wills did give our listeners a code, and that code is still valid. So it's CCP15. So if anybody does want 15% off a Burke and Wills swag, go and do it because it's an awesome piece of kit. And we're not paid partnerships. We're not sponsored. It's just a genuinely great piece of kit that we like using. And so if you want to go and try it, go use the code. Go use the code.
So well made. And the camp bed, how much did the camp bed cost you that you've never even used?
I think it was about 60 quid. It's an Outwell Posada extra large, so it's extra wide and it's extra long. And actually, I bought it because I'm well over 6 foot, and I bought it thinking it would be long because my other camp bed is actually my feet hang off. But what I didn't realize is it's extra wide as well. And the reason I don't use it is because it didn't fit in my 3-meter bell tent, or it did, but it was a real tight squeeze with the center pole. So I stopped using it and should have sent it back, but actually, I bought a normal size one, and actually I do kind of fit on that okay. And then I thought, well, actually, having a spare camp bed, it's always handy to have something like that for the house or whatever else if people come and stay. So I thought it's not worth the hassle in sending it back. They're not expensive pieces of kit from Outwell, but they're really, really well made. Really
honestly,
solid.
It was so secure. It was brilliant. And, not being on the ground, which, some people, I don't mind. And I've had one of the best night's sleep I've ever had in the swag because it's canvas, it's breathable, it's blackout, it's so highly engineered. It's so robust. It's the cotton. It's really, really thick cotton, ripstop cotton, really, really well made. And yeah, just best night's sleep I've ever had camping. Honestly, I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. Brilliant.
Wow.
So yeah, really, really good. I think it's that breathability and the blackout, that those two things together just seem to have a longer night's sleep.
Wow. I need to get it off you at some point and take it for a weekend. But
It's mine. It's
I know,
mine.
I know. I can't get my hands on it. It's and we've still got hammock camping. I've got a hammock tent in the garage that I bought a few weeks back. We've still got to get out and do hammock camping. There's so much still to come, and this camping season, listeners, there's so much excitement still to come to your dirty little ear hills. It's
Ooh.
ooh. What
Yes.
what do we? Oh God, I think did we have a? Oh gosh, now I think we did have a. We haven't had any more text messages since hang your pants on your guy lines, but
Hang your pants.
But that's all right. That was quite a good one.
It was yeah. It's obviously put other people off actually going, I don't have anything as good as hang your pants.
Yeah, nobody's got anything as good as hang your pants. I think we did have a social media shout out, but I think I might have lost it. Oh no, there we go. There we go. So Dora Campbell Black has joined our Facebook group. So if you follow us on Facebook, you can come into the private Casual Camping Podcast Facebook group where there is a chat and extra stuff. And in joining that, Dora has said, what does she like most about it? Apparently, we're really relaxing to listen to. I hadn't really got that, but it's you relax away, Dora the Explorer. It's you relax away.
I hope you've been doing. Bloody hell!
It shocked you then.
It really did. I was gonna emulate your Dora Explorer thing. I hope she's been exploring somewhere, but then yes.
Yeah.
I think we are relaxing. It's gentle camping talk with a bit of comedy, and hopefully, I learned something.
You were full of top tips last week. I listened to it again today on the way into work, and it was like, blimey, I think you had like 3 or 4 top tips last week. Well done.
I tell you, I'd had me Weetabix. Had
your slow release carbs.
You're getting out like that this week, I tell you.
Meat, and meat this weekend, I'm sure.
As
long as it's not sausage time.
It might be. So I think the chuckling that in the chat on the group has very much been about sausage time, Tim, and the Fuckle Brothers, which if anybody knows the Chuckle Brothers in the UK, to me, to you, me and Tim we're a little bit of DIY that we measure twice, still get it wrong, hit ourselves with a hammer, fall off ladders a little bit. We're a little bit incompetent DIYers, really. So we've always named ourselves the Fuckle Brothers.
Yeah, we get the job done, and actually we get it done to a pretty good standard. But there are several accidents along the way, and a lot of swear words. And
get Tim to show you all the cuts he's got on his hands, the little scars and things.
Yeah.
So yes, both of those might be used this weekend. And talking about this weekend, I'm looking forward to Lavoo on the farm. It's starting on Friday. I think there's a lot of people joining us. I can't wait.
If you're listening to this as it's gone out today, it is Friday. And you might be listening to this episode on the way to Lavoo on the farm. It's so we hope to see some of our listeners there. Obviously, not everyone can come. We understand you can't come from New Zealand, you can't come from Kansas.
Why not? Why not?
Well, you could.
Come on, Joel. Get on a plane
in John Lennon Airport, and you could drive on over, and I'm sure somebody would lend you a Lavoo. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend, and I can't wait to get there, get set up, and crack a beer,
and go looking at tents. While you might be listening to our podcast there, do look out for some social media content throughout the weekend and into next
Yeah.
week. We will be doing some of those things.
We will doing a bit of live and a bit of all sorts of stuff. There'll be some videos going up on YouTube. There'll be stuff all over the place. It's
all over the place.
All over. So this week, we are actually not just talking about what we did last weekend and what we're doing later this very day as it goes out on Friday. This week, we are actually talking about what gets your goat, what annoys you, what just rubs you up the wrong way about camping, what absolutely gets on your wick.
Is this a whinge-fest, Tim? Is this a whinge-fest?
It's whinge-fest 2024.
Woo!
So we have both written independently, blind from each other, a top 10 of what is our biggest annoyances when it comes to camping or camping equipment or whatever aspect of camping. And we're gonna take it in turns. We're going to go back and forth, and we'll go from our least annoying, but it's still annoying, all the way up to our most annoying, which just needs to stop, quite frankly.
Yeah. I wonder whether I've talked too much about my stuff because I'm a whinging palm.
Well, there's nothing. There are certain things that the British like. We like a cup of tea. We like to join a queue, and we really do like to moan about stuff. It's
yeah.
And
don't queue jump.
Somebody did that in Belfast, trying to get on the bus back from Liam Gallagher. Ooh, somebody got threatened with being knived. Yeah, not from me. Not from me. I'm not that kind of person.
Ooh. I was going to say, were you on the rum again there, Tim?
No. Never again am I going on the run. No, somebody went to the front of the queue to try and get in, and then somebody about 4 behind me started going, and I didn't really understand what he was saying, but I got the gist that it was like he was really quite angry, and then there was a lot of back and forwards, and a bit of pushing and shoving, the threat of a knife, but nobody actually got a knife out. And then they both decided to take themselves out of the queue and walk off down the street, which is like, God. That's just weird. Why would you do that? But there you go.
Apologies to any of our Irish listeners for their howdy har.
That's my world famous Northern Irish accent. I can do Southern as well. Holy, holy, ho. That's my Southern Irish. And my Northern Irish is
wait on, Tim.
Obviously,
we can only offend one nationality at a time, please.
I didn't do any of those accents whilst in Northern Ireland, because obviously that wouldn't have been safe.
No, and
they won't welcome me back. It's But anyway, so starting from your least annoying but still annoying, what is your? Are we going number 1 to 10? Or are we going 10 to 1?
10 to 1.
Okay, so what's number 10 on your list, my brother?
Okay, coming in at number 10 in the countdown list is Carrier bag story.
Hey, it had to be there, didn't it?
It's an oldie, but it's a goldie. It is a personal preference. Please don't judge me, other people. We were doing some things, and I was just, you've seen my storage. I like it. It annoys me when I have to put things in a little carrier bag just to get everything there. So, yeah, no surprises there, really.
No
Tim.
surprises. I'm surprised, actually, it hasn't featured higher up, because I know it's a proper bugbear. Can I say to anyone who is coming to Lavoo on the farm, can we just arrange some plastic bags all around Ed's tent in the middle of the night, so when he gets up? Because that would be funny.
Single-use plastic. I mean, it's not that I'm an eco-warrior, but, leave no trace. And, they obviously need using more than once, but yeah.
No, that's no surprise. There's no surprise. So in at 10 for me. Go on, your turn to do some music. Oh. In at 10. Do. That's rubbish. I might have to insert some actual music into that bit. I've got too many signs and rules. We went to that site up in Yorkshire, and it just, oh God, it still annoys me now thinking about it. It's literally a sign for this and a sign for that and a sign for the other and a sign for the other. And it's like, if you put up that many rules, do you really want people to come? Have you had so many people that turn up that break all the rules all the time? I'm sure you haven't. It was just like a slap in the face every time you kind of walked anywhere. It's like, oh, there's another rule there. There's another sign.
Yeah, that was a. Oh, well, I mean, they've obviously just had fun with it and thought, oh, this stops me actually having to talk to people.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, too many rules, too many signs everywhere. Camping's chilled out. We're chilled out people. Just go with the flow. Chill your beans. Chill your beans, campsite owners.
Yeah. Oh, it's back down to me then.
It is. So in at 9 for Ade.
Fire pit extras.
Ooh,
those
what do you mean?
Sites that not only charge you for so you can only have a fire if you use their fire pit.
Oh yeah.
The
only thing I'd say that's a positive to that is quite often they're quite good fire pits and they do fit in your car. I'm not advocating that, but sometimes they're really well made.
Well, you see, obviously not as well made as my Snow Peak pack and go fire pit that packs down, slim, and they won't even go, oh no, you've got to use theirs. There's an extra charge for it.
Yeah, that is massively annoying. And my Winterwell similar fold flat is just great, and it's on its own little raised table. It's never going to damage the grass in a million years, but it when they kind of go, oh no, you've got to use ours. Oh, have you brought something that you've actually paid like £175 for? No, you can't use that. Can you use ours? That's £15.70.
Yeah,
it's annoys me. Annoys me. Similarly, in at 9 for me.
Oh,
is buying the wood. You've got to use their wood. That is actually very similar to yours. That drives me mad because it's always absolutely crap wood. It's soft wood. It's quite often it's rotten. Quite often it's not been properly seasoned. It's not properly dry. It's sparky like mad, so you run the risk of sparky burns all over your tents. It's rubbish. I hate sites that do that, and they charge you like £6, £7, or £3 extra for some kindling. So it's a tenner, like they're doing you a favour. Annoys me.
Yeah, because that place that we went to at the beginning of the year, so it was January, I bought 3 bags of wood from there, and it was all really thick stuff, and each bag came with a little firelighter. and it was like, if we hadn't have had the blowtorches, wouldn't have got that going.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have got that going. And I think we also surreptitiously brought in our own wood. So we had to buy some of their wood because they said it's theirs. So there's ways around it. So you can't just start burning stuff. You've got to buy one of those. But instead of buying 3 of theirs, you could just buy like 1 and then just got.
Yeah. And that is
really
there are ways and means around it. Leave your wood in your vehicle and have theirs kind of out on display and just keep supplementing. There are ways around it, but it is really annoying that they force you to buy what is always the worst wood that you would never buy in a million years.
It's like
I went to
wood.
one. Yeah, I went to one site and it was like bits of furniture that had clearly just been left out in the rain and stuff, and it was just bits of old furniture and stuff that they'd just been chopping up, and it's like, and I think it was like £7 for this bag that, it was just junk. It's just absolute junk. It's So what's coming in fast at number 8? You're making me count backwards. It's really hard.
caravan club campsites for Ade.
Controversial.
I mean, it is. As a camper, we are different. We bring our own stuff. I've never really been welcomed in a caravan club campsite to the point that I've stopped going to them. Obviously, you're not welcome.
Yeah.
Don't go. There's that one up in Masham that they just don't really want people with tents.
Yeah.
They want camper vans and they want caravanners because they're people of a certain age and they're quiet. And it's I understand how they've got to that, but the rule I've made is, it's a caravan club campsite. No, not for me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I've been to a few and actually not had a pleasant experience, not been very welcomed on any of them. The one up in Masham being the worst, really. I do know, there are people who think they're great, and do use them, and they do have great facilities, and they tend to be in really good locations. So there's a lot of positives to them, but certainly my experience is similar to yours. They don't really want tents. They quite often don't want campers on there. They quite often they want caravans, motorhomes, camper vans, that sort of stuff. But
yeah.
So
coming in at number 8, then Tim. Do.
Messy campers. So people who are messy when they're there, and their stuff's kind of spread out much, much bigger than their plot ever was. Or they're on a site where there isn't really a defined plot that you've got, and they've just kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't mean the tents, because we've all got some little tents and some big tents, but it's like the tent's up, and then the chairs kind of go about 20 foot away from the tent, and then there's a fire pit that's in another direction, and between all of that there's kind of like rubbish and bits of wrappers and bits of stuff and cups thrown over, and it's just like it's got to be my OCD, but it just drives me mad to see it all being so messy and just a complete pigsty, and particularly when it then starts to encroach on your bit of an area because people are just spreading further and further like a virus. It's it just drives me mad, and those people tend to also be the people who have left half of that stuff when they've cleared away and they've left, and it's like it just looks a mess. And we talk about leave no trace when you're out in the wild. Well, leave no trace happens on a campsite too. Be a bit tidy, be a bit considerate of your neighbours, and absolutely, if you're going home, take all your tat, take all your rubbish, take all your crisp packets, take all your loose junk, and take it home with you to your own house. Wow. Messy campers just drives me mad.
Well, yeah. I think I am hearing a little bit of OCD here. Maybe you should get some counselling. Camp counselling.
Maybe counsellor. Can we have a volunteer from the listeners, please, to be camp counsellor?
Casual camping counselling podcast. But isn't that what going camping is about? It's kind of counselling. It's it's that reset, isn't it? So
totally.
Yeah.
It is that go to your happy place. It's and most of the time I'm quite forgiving of other stuff and of other people, and it's nice to meet other people, but just sometimes the really, really messy ones just gets on my OCD. What number are we up to now? We're up to 7.
It's coming in at 7.
Coming in at 7, Ed.
So you've kind of touched on my next one, really.
I've not touched on your anything.
Taking your rubbish home.
Yeah.
I agree. Clear up and everything like that. But it just, once again, it's having to not be able to. Who wants to go home with a load of sort of cans and tinnies and bits of food that you've had over the weekend because they don't have adequate bins on the site, or they're trying to cut down on their waste cost and stuff like that. you're running a business. Let's not pretend. If you're a campsite owner, and I know that there's costs for that, but actually, as a camper, I don't want to go home with stuff. I want to be able to leave it. And,
Yeah.
Sometimes, we had to do that this last weekend. So yeah, I think it's one of those things that would make me as a camper choose.
Yeah.
It's not a big thing, but actually, if you're going for a few days, it really is a big thing.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. So you're not talking about like leaving no trace. You're actually talking about
No,
being told to bag up your rubbish and put it in your own car and take it back
and
to your own house. And
take it with you. Yeah,
I'm all over. I'm with you on that one. That one
yeah,
drives me mad too.
yeah.
It's really annoying actually. And like you say, particularly if you've been like 3, 4 nights away, you've probably got a couple of bags of rubbish really,
Yeah,
and you've got to
yeah.
stick all that back in your own car, and you might be driving 4 hours with a load of stinky rubbish that's been festering for a few days in the
Uh,
sun. I mean,
uh,
that's just not pleasant.
no. I mean, yeah, pork sausages, obviously, but the beer cans and stuff. Your car ends up stinking of beer because
Yeah,
there's always like a little dribble in the bottom of it that seems to sort of fall over. And
yeah,
yeah, no, I just want to put it in a bin when I go.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
running a campsite, you're making money off people. Have some proper waste disposal stuff
yeah.
there.
And if we stayed for a few days, you've probably charged us, a decent amount of money for that. Cost of
Yeah,
camping we've covered before. Just put some bins on. Just put a skip somewhere and let us put our rubbish in it. We don't want to take it home. It's
yeah.
so in at
Seven
number 7 for
for
me
you.
is disposable barbecues.
Ooh,
What an absolute, utterly stupid and pointless invention disposable barbecues are. You have to wait ages for them to get hot enough, and then you've got a window of about 32 seconds when they're at the right temperature. And if you put something on before those 32 seconds, they're black really quickly. And if you put something on after those 32 seconds, they will never cook and stay raw forever. They are the most pointless piece of camping cooking equipment that's ever
yeah.
been invented. And also, you've always got some complete absolute idiot who drags it into the tent on a night to keep them warm and kills somebody. And they never kill themselves. They kill someone else in the tent. And for that
Is that
reason
just with
alone,
anger of the monoxide poisoning that my sausages didn't kill?
because they're hungry, because they couldn't eat the food. It's no, they're
Yeah,
from a cooking point of view, they're the worst thing you can possibly cook on. The people never have anything to stand them on, so there's always like burnt bits of grass. And then there
yeah,
is every single year here in the UK, there is some idiot who takes it into the tent because they're cold on a night, and carbon monoxide builds up, and somebody loses their life from these absolutely idiotic pieces of equipment. And I would
yeah.
like to see them banned. They also they're to blame for so many wildfires from people going up on the hills and thinking they're going to have a barbecue and it gets out of control. It's
Yeah,
ban disposable barbecues for me. I can't
yeah,
stand them.
yeah. I'm there. We're not doing a 101, but I agree with you. I think that should be.
Cool. So
So,
coming in fast at number 6 for Aid.
ooh, packing up in the rain. Packing up in the rain
Oh,
is
yeah,
just a laborious thing. And I'm similarly, and I guess it's sort of maybe a family trait, a bit of OCD with how I pack up. I fold my tents up. I really like it. When it's raining, I can't be asked. Throw it in the back of the car. It gets everything else wet, including your
yeah,
car. And it's sod's law. I think when I went camping in Wales, it rained as I was putting up the tent as well. So everything was soaked that way. I was like, it'd been dry all day.
oh,
So yeah, as much, I love camping. It doesn't put me off in any way, shape, or form, but it's just one of those things like I go, oh no. Um,
yeah, it's it's an inevitability,
It's an
particularly camping
inevitability,
in this
but
country. But you do have that heavy sigh when you wake up on the last day and it's like it's raining.
it's
And
right.
it's going to be raining
And the
all day.
bigger your tent is, the more problematic it is. Really, I think,
It seems to rain on a big tent seems to make it 3 times as big when you're trying to pack it down. It's like it's impossible. It's it's never going in the bag. You're going to barely get it in the car, and it just rain on a tent just seems to make it massive. Yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying. I'm on you.
Okay, coming in at number 6, Tim.
Wooden cutlery. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you nearly choked then, just at the thought of putting wooden fork in your mouth or wooden spork in your mouth. Wooden cutlery. I know we got to be, for the environment, everything else. It's I can't be doing with it. I've got titanium camping cutlery, 2 sets of. It's great. It's light as anything. It'll last forever, and wooden cutlery. We've got to have wooden paper everything now, and I understand that for the environment. I totally get that. But when you put a wooden spork in your mouth, it makes you want to gag. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's that. If anybody remembers from school, nails down the chalkboard kind of thing for me. It's just you were after one of those little cup things, those wooden things that
those Kutska things.
Kutska things, yeah. I was like, oh, the same thing for me. It's
I can drink out of one of those. I did get a couple of them, and I did make one years ago, but it's I don't know where it is now. But I have got a couple of them, and they and I quite like a glass of port out of those. They're quite nice. They may be coming to Lavu, but it's the cutlery. It's just horrible. It's horrible in your mouth. I don't want bits of wood in my mouth.
Yeah.
So coming in at 5.
Ooh. So this is a slight addition to, and I feel a little bit more strongly about this, extras.
Ooh. Yeah.
I know I touched on fire pits earlier and stuff, but that was like about campfires and stuff. In previous episodes, somebody tried to charge me for a car, not a second car, a car. And I think it's those hidden extras in regards to camping. You want to know, it needs to be quite clear, are you paying for a site, how many people you can have on that pitch? Or is it, you're paying for a tent, no matter how many people you get in it, or is it per person when you're in? And there just seems to be a real deliberate kind of difference between certain sites as to what you're paying for. Either the pitch or the tents, make your mind up. And then the extras that you get charged on top of it from, like I said, fire pits before, but, woods, cars, awning, things like that. Make it
50p,
simple.
50p for a shower. I mean, come on. You've charged me enough to come and camp there. It drives me mad.
I can feel myself venting now. Isn't this good?
By the time we get to number 1, we're just going to be angry all the
time. But I think these are the things that are just simplify it. We understand people are making money. I'm not saying that I don't want to, but actually it's the hidden costs that you go, oh, look, it's a tenner to come here, but then actually we'll charge you for a car. Oh, and we'll charge you for a second car, and we'll charge you for a shower and stuff like that. And it's just hidden. It's, just be honest with people. Come on. We understand.
Just be upfront and tell us. It's with you on that. With you on that one. I've not disagreed with you at all yet. Actually, it's
good.
So
coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, Tim.
Equipment that isn't complete, and I might need to explain this, but you get like some camping equipment, and it tends to be the high end stuff, where they kind of go, oh yeah, no, I love that, and it comes and you go, oh, well, on the picture it had like all of that. Oh no, you've had this with your Snow Peak kitchen. It's like, oh, but I've got to pay 50 quid for the bracket to then pay another 100 quid to put the thing off the bracket. You know,
Mm,
sell me a
yeah.
piece of equipment and sell it in its entirety, completely, as it's pictured, and put a price on it. And I'll happily buy it because it'll be a quality piece of kit and it'll be all shiny and new and
Yeah.
I'll love it. Don't then say, oh well, no, actually, you don't get this bit. You know, that bit's extra. That bit's a bit more,
Yeah.
and that just drives me mad. There's a lot of companies out there. It tends to be the higher end brands, but there are a lot of companies out there that are just going, oh well, yeah, that's the tent, and yeah, we did show it with that. But actually, if you looked at the really tiny print that nobody can actually read, it does say, oh well, this is a different version than the one you've bought,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
got a pod on it, and it's got an extra carpet, and it's got this, and it's got that, and you know, you haven't bought all of that. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
just put a picture of what it is, let me buy it, and put an honest price on it.
Yeah, no, as somebody that does like those big brands, so my big Snow Peak tent, I needed to actually buy 10 stakes in order to tent pegs, but they were big ones, 40 centimeters and 30
Hmm.
centimeter ones. So I couldn't actually pitch it without them. They didn't come
Gosh,
as
it
part of the price.
didn't come with the stakes to put the tent up.
Yeah,
I mean, that
so
is
I mean that is
what is going on?
really, yeah. We're
Yeah.
trying to make a price point, hit a price point and say, well, this is it. But actually, you're selling something that is incomplete.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
That's like saying,
yeah,
here's a
it's
roll of
terrible.
canvas and a needle and thread. Here's your tent.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
yeah, so stuff that doesn't come complete for me is a real annoyance when you're really
yeah,
hankering after some premium stuff and
yeah.
they just absolutely bend you over and just say give us all of the money from your back pocket. It's
Yeah, I think as well. So when you do buy some, those places that do have some really good, they sell you everything and it's great, so those high-end tents and stuff. But the other thing that annoys me is that they've cheapened it by giving you some really crappy tent pegs or
yeah.
guy line and stuff. Those are the icing on the cake, as far as that, that says, oh yeah, this is why it's worth a little bit more or whatever.
Yeah.
This is lighter and stuff. But then those are the ones that just give you the really cheapest, haven't spent any money on it at all, and you go, oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Yes. Okay.
Coming in hot at number 4.
And number 4, people who sit in my chair.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
So, and I and
Yeah.
I actually mean, so I'm not, necessarily. I don't mind people sitting down. Of course, I don't, but I do mind people that bring a chair but don't sit in theirs because it's not the comfortablest, and then go and sit in my chair,
Yeah.
which is a very comfortable chair for me.
Yeah. I spent a lot
It's
of time picking a
yeah,
camping chair, and I
yeah.
love my camping chair. And it really annoys me when people sit in my camping chair. It's like, yeah, that's my chair. I don't want to sit in that £10 piece of junk you got from the garage on the way here. I want to sit in my camping chair that's
Well
really
said.
comfortable. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Well said. And yeah, no, that's yeah. Like I said, I don't mind people. It's not about, people say it's the preferring to sit in mine and then forcing me. I have learned to say, get out of my chair. Get out of
yeah,
my
yeah,
chair.
yeah, yeah. While
Hopefully
shuffling cards and sharpening knives.
coming in at number 4 for Tim.
uh, have we missed? Oh, yeah, no, sorry, it is. Yes, number 4. I almost misread my own list.
Ooh.
Poor customer service. So many,
Mm.
so many, we've been on lots of different campsites, loads, and some of the service is outstanding. The vast majority of the service is outstanding. Some really lovely campsite owners who go the extra mile. But every once in a while, you come across that absolute miserable so-and-so who you just think, what the hell are you doing? Life is too
Yeah.
short for you to be this
Yeah. Yeah.
miserable
Yeah.
and hate running a campsite. Go
Yeah.
somewhere else. It tends to be the ones that have got all the signs. So it's kind of
Yeah.
in there. But the poor customer service, I hate it in general wherever I go because there's no reason. If you're selling stuff, customer service is what you do.
Uh,
And poor
I
customer
mean,
service is just
yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That site that I love to go to in Edale in the Peak District, and they're just really miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back because I love the site and I love where it is and I love the walking you can do from there. But they're really miserable.
They are.
They're
I've
just
only been
not
once.
happy to see you. They're really not
Yeah.
happy to see you. And they go, "Oh, this is your third time." And it's like, should be, this is your third time. Welcome back. Brilliant. It's really great to
Yeah.
see you again. We've got you in this place. Is that going to be all right? I
It
don't want to
doesn't
be,
take anything.
I don't
Yeah.
want you to be my best mate. I don't need you to be over friendly and come and check on me all the time. But actually, just a warm welcome goes a
Yeah.
really long way. And
Yeah.
so yeah, poor customer service is
Yeah.
drives
Yeah.
me to distraction.
Yes, it doesn't cost much, and you know what? It seems like everybody's doing campsites, which I suspect is why some are miserable. They shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Some people have poured their life savings into it, but I used to think I wanted to run a campsite, and then I think, yeah, you know what? It looks as if it'll put me off camping. So no,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
the same. I went as
yeah,
far as looking at land and stuff, and actually I realised I would probably end up being one of those miserable campsite owners
yeah,
who would be really tired of people turning up. It's
yeah.
so it would put me off. But if you are choosing to be a campsite owner, just a warm welcome goes a really long way. A
Oh,
really
you
long
know
way. You
what?
don't need to speak to us again for the entire time that we're there, but a warm welcome is the least you could do when you're taking some money. It's
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
In
Uh,
at
number
number
three.
8.
What?
Oh no, it's number 8
Yeah.
on my list because I numbered them backwards. In at number 3.
I did both, Tim. I did
we
both.
can't we can't we can't
Um,
do maths. We've
yeah.
we've said that before.
To me, to you. Campsites that have a curfew.
Ooh,
I've been
controversial.
I've been asked to go to bed. It was a campsite that I've obviously never ever been back to, but they walked around the campsite and asked people to go to bed. It's after 10 now. That's it. Can you now quieten down? And I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm 50 years old. I wasn't back then, but I just think, yes, I'm aware that you need to be quieter and not upset people and not rave it up until wee small hours. But still being able to, it's a campsite. I am away for the weekend. And thankfully there are those places that have, their where you set away from families, those adult sites. I don't mean
Mm-hmm.
adult in that way. I just mean that you can make a little
Boom,
bit more
boom,
noise if you
boom,
want to.
waka-chong.
Wow, wow, wow,
The Blue Oyster campsite.
Oh gosh. But yeah. So I don't like, I hopefully mostly, I mean, that's why I think I like the wild camping campsites a little bit more because they just leave you to it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't be crazy, but you're an adult. Trust me to do that. So yeah.
Yeah. Most sites have some kind of a curfew, but they don't necessarily enforce it, and they'll enforce it if you are making a lot of noise, but they don't tell you to go to bed. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
This was one near Bristol.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would annoy me and make me never go back as well. It's cool. I agree with you again.
Good.
What number are we on now?
3. Coming in at number 3 for Tim. Do.
Invading my personal space.
Oh.
So
we're not talking about Germany and Poland here.
No. Although could be, quite frankly, could be. I'm happy to blitzkrieg anytime. It's you set up your camp and you set up your stuff, and then before you know it, somebody's walked like between your kitchen setup and your tent to get to their tent, which is in the next little area, and it's like, I know I haven't got walls and boundaries and everything else, but do you need to walk through my setup just to cut that corner to get to the toilet? I have paid for this little piece of England for the 2 nights I'm going to be here. Just walk round. Just walk round. You don't need to walk right through my setup. It's and I know I'm not alone with that, because that's one of the big moans that happens goes on most of the camping groups that I follow on Facebook. Yeah. It's people walking through your area. It drives me mad. It's like, and I'm so English and don't go, "What the hell are you doing? Get away!" Because I'm trying to relax, and I'm normally a relaxed and calm person when I'm camping. But it does, it gets my goats, does that one.
Yeah. Don't get Tim's goat. Yes.
Coming in fast and hard at number 2.
People camping too close.
Oh, hey! See, these are very similar lists.
They are quite similar,
really
aren't
similar
they?
Lists.
Yeah. We've talked about it on Camping Etiquette, where we've secretly been seething that somebody's camped right next to you. I did laugh when we went to the Bushcraft show, and we went early morning, and our friend Richard was saying, "I'm here, come and camp next to us." And he was in this massive field with that. I think there was 2 tents. And I was like, "Who's your friend?" And he went, "I have no idea." And literally, he was camped in his porch.
It was literally within his guidelines, wasn't he? Yeah, he was literally within his guidelines. And he snored really loud.
I mean, it was just like, oh my God. But yeah,
so
I mean,
funny.
we've all had it. I don't think I've ever had it that bad. And I was like, Richard didn't even know him, but it's just like, oh my God, why do people do it? Why do they feel that they need to, like you say, invade your space?
Yeah. Too close.
Coming in at number 2 for Tim. Jing, 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 jing.
Dogger.
Oh, yeah. We don't like dogging. No, that's a different camping term.
Not dogging. That's the Blue Oyster campsite again. You've been going to dogger, dog muck, dog poo. I love dogs. I am a dog person. I am currently without a dog. It's very sad. I love dogs. Love people with dogs. It's absolutely great. But those irresponsible owners who don't clean up dog muck on a campsite, it's that has got to be. I mean, surely we should be like cutting off hands for stuff like that. It's that's like one of the worst.
Whoa! Wait on, Tim. Okay, let's take that back.
Okay,
all right.
Well,
this is a family.
5 years inside. Then it's 5 years hard labour for not picking up your dog's waste. It's
doesn't it come down to actually keeping an eye on your dog?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because
there was that place last year where that dog peed on my jacket over the back of the chair, and they were just oblivious to it.
Yeah,
oh, my dog.
If you're taking a dog to a campsite, be a responsible owner and keep an eye on it. It's not an excuse to say I didn't see it. It's gross. There are kids playing on campsites. We were always told and warned, "Oh, it'll make you go blind," and actually, it does. It will make you go blind. It's horrible stuff. It's horrible stuff. I ate dog milk that's left on campsites. It's gross. It's there's a part 2 to this. People who've gone to the trouble of picking it up in a bag and then tie the bag to a branch. What's that about? Or throwing the bag under a hedge at the side of the campsite. Just sort it out. Take it away. Deal with it. It's I ate dogger. Coming in at Oh, are we number one? Top of the
Yes.
chart for Ade, number one.
Yes, number one. Okay, this is off last weekend.
Okay.
Wheelbarrowing your stuff in. Got to park your car somewhere else and then wheelbarrow your stuff in. No, this isn't Glastonbury.
Yeah.
You should have a campsite where people can. I understand you don't want loads of cars on your thing. Fine. Let me pull up and unpack my car and then I'll go park it wherever you want.
Yeah.
But actually, you could have had a really long journey, and then you've got unpacking all your stuff out of the car. That can be before you've even started.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And it could be chucking it down.
Yeah, last weekend, I think it just felt like somebody that was just playing at being a campsite. Oh, we've done this. Oh, you've got a toilet there. Oh, let me just lop down another tree just to create a little bit. It was a bank, very uneven land. And yeah, just on the side of a hill. And I was like, yeah, well, I should be able to at least get my car in there, drop my stuff
Yeah.
off, and then back again. Who wants to have wheelbarrows? We had this up in Yorkshire a few weeks ago,
Yeah, and it was a
it was
right
just
pain.
3 trips to the car. It's not just, and I know we bring excessive stuff. We bring everything. We bring our toys that we want to play with
Yeah.
and set up and, curate and take some pictures. That's what we do. We want content for our stuff, but I don't think we're unusual with that. And I don't
No.
think that anybody turns up with just one wheelbarrow's worth of stuff.
No.
It's always a couple. So actually, put in proper roads. So,
Yeah.
and we went on a site a couple of years ago with my partner and her family, and everybody really loved the site. And I've just refused to go back because it was like, no, well, nobody else brings the amount of stuff I do. And the path to it was so bobbly and up and down that it was just a really laborious thing. And I was just like, I don't want to go back to a site like that. It could have been the best site in the world. I just don't want to go carry all my stuff in.
Yeah. And I can see the quaintness of the idea of it. I like the sound of it, but actually having been on a few sites now where they do it, it's not fun. It's not pleasant. And
not
actually,
for the camper.
I won't be going to a site that does that because that's an absolute pain in the backside. There was one site in Wales where it was nice. There was quite a big sort of parking area. You couldn't take your cars to your tent, but actually the way that the parking was, none of the tents were that far. You could have actually just carried the stuff, but they did have barrows that you could just kind of move the heavier stuff across with. That kind of works there because it wasn't very far. But some of the other sites I've been to, they purposefully put the cars quite a distance away for this quaint reason. And actually, you know what? It just makes it not pleasant. It's not pleasant to set up, and it's not pleasant to take it all down again. And you just end up thinking, well, that was an absolute pain in the backside. I don't think I'll come back here.
Just, I understand you don't want loads of cars around. You want the aesthetic. We went to one, Embers, and it was on the side of the Thames. And they wanted the cars out. You could pull in, throw all your stuff out, and then take your car out to the thing. Brilliant. Don't mind that at all,
Yeah.
But actually, walking in, and if I understand that that's what a campsite does, I'm not going back to it. I don't want to. I just want to be able to. And what happens if you've got a roof tent? Are you camping in the car park? Come on, have a bit more sense, people. But yeah, so that one's fresh for me. That's why I made it to number one.
That's a new scar that you've got there.
It's a new scar.
Still got a scab
so
over
it's a new lesson learned of, I don't want to go back to a campsite like that. It was I had a lovely time, but I will go, and actually, for any campsite owner that might be listening there, I will have that. So I went camping with somebody with a camper van, somebody with a backpacking tent. I had the swag and stuff like that. There's 4 of us one night. So I have a lot of influence to go, I don't want to go to a campsite like that. So bear that in mind, all those people that are going, numbers down and stuff like that. Really have a look at what you're doing.
Yeah. take away those barriers that make people go to another campsite. It's
Yeah,
make it easy. Camping
yeah,
should be
because there's
easy.
some
Shouldn't be difficult.
great camp out there that are not doing those kind of things.
Yeah, cool.
Right then.
Valid number one.
Number one for Tim.
It's you, my brother. You're my biggest camping annoyance, because you spend more than me. You buy the premium gear that I absolutely love, but will never.
Wait on. Wait on a second. Have we been building up to this for you to have a little pop at me? I mean, you could have just phoned me up and said, Adrian, I hate you.
No, I don't hate you. I love you. But from a camping annoyance point of view, I'm possibly more tight-fisted Yorkshireman than you are, and I want your equipment, and I desperately would. I love my Stanley. Cool box. I would really love a Yeti cool box. I can't tell you how much I would love a Yeti cool box, but the Yorkshireman in me just won't let me spend that. But you go and buy 3. And I love your Snow Peak kitchen. I absolutely adore it. And I've tried different ways of making my own version of that. And it looks crap every time. But I just won't spend the money.
I could feel there was a but coming.
I love your freedom to just go, actually, I've decided I want that, so I'm going to have that. And you find a way of making it work so that you can have it. And that's my greatest annoyance, because you've just got better gear than me, and every time we go camping, it's just like, yeah, that. So your Prospector shanty, it's better than my 3-meter bell tent. It's got more living space. It's just a better tent. It's your big Snow Peak tent is an epic, massive tent. I love my 4-meter bell tent, but it's not as good as the big Snow Peak tent. My kitchen setup, I'm still playing with it and trying to develop it and trying to recycle stuff to get to something good. But actually, you've gone and bought the thing that's absolutely perfect. It's so my top camping that gets my goat is the fact that you're just less tight-fisted than me, and yeah, so maybe actually it's me that I'm annoyed at more, because I just won't spend the money.
Yeah, big shocker. At the end of that countdown, I was like, oh, okay. And if you would allow me to rebut or come back at you with that, would be actually you put a tent and a campsite together, and I am really gutted that I have to spend as much as I do, and you put a campsite together really, really well. I have gone through those things where I haven't had the cooler. I've looked at coolers. It's taken me 2 years to get to buying one cooler. But then once you've got those kind of things, I just find that some things just, that's not working for me. I can sell it because I can get quite a bit of money for it. And it just seems to be easier to do those things, which I've done an awful lot in the last couple of years.
Once you've got yourself to that level of expenditure, like you say, they hold the value, and you just rotate it round. It's I just can't jump into that level. It's So you just got better toys than me. You just got better toys than me, and it pisses me off every time. In a loving way, because I love to see all the stuff.
Yeah, okay, right.
It's even your sheds. You've got like 3 amazing sheds with all your camping gear in. It's just, bloody hell. It's just too much, Ed. It's too much loveliness stuff.
Well, I think jealousy. The thing is that we all see things, I think Instagram is making us all see things around the world and what people do and how you can get it. I import stuff, I do whatever, I find a way around some of the things that I've seen. And
you are really clever at finding stuff in different places. I I do tend to look in the same sort of 2 or 3 places, but you come up with some, I'd never even heard of Amazon Japan before you started, you'd already bought like loads of stuff from it. It's like, Amazon, what is Amazon Japan? You mean I can change the country on my Amazon app and change its currency and buy stuff?
And if you're after that thing, you don't mind the import duties or it costs you. So the stove I got recently that came, there was an added extra of a little cast iron hot plate that goes on it. And it was just pushing it to too much. And I thought, I'll maybe get it another time and stuff. But then I've also just found out that Winnerwell have done that, that olden style stove, little glowy stove thing.
With the glass window in it.
Yeah. They do a little cast iron plate on top of there. It's 15 quid and it'd fit exactly the same sort of thing as the other thing. So I'm going to go, I don't have to get that for like 70 quid in from anywhere else. So
fantastic.
No, I think sometimes it's just putting things together a little bit as well. So you're
really good at that. You are really good at that. But it gets my goat because it's just, we're going to Lavu. We're on our way to Lavu now. If you're listening to this on the day of release, and you're just going to have a good setup. It's just going to look really, really good. Really, really good. It's
but that's what we love about camping in a field with loads of people with setups. We go around and go, oh, I liked what he did. The camp bed thing, that was from seeing somebody else. So if you're out there camping, have a wander around. Don't encroach people's space too much, but have a wander around.
Don't walk through their setup, and pick up your dog muck if you've got a dog with you, and don't sit in anyone's chair.
Don't. I mean, ask. I can, I like to brag about how comfortable it is, but get up quickly. So, if this countdown has got you shouting at wherever you hear this podcast and going, yes, I agree, that's annoying me too. Here's a minute mindfulness just to bring you back to reality. Back into nature and understand why we do what we do.
Welcome to the Casual Camping 1 Minute Mindfulness. Let the sounds of the outdoors take you back to the camping field.
Wasn't that brilliant? Oh, I feel all relaxed again after that tension of getting the frustrations off. What annoys us out. But absolutely brilliant sounds.
Yeah, nice and relaxed once more and calm. Yeah. So, let's, if you're not coming to Lavu and we appreciate not everybody can, we've got listeners all over the world. Get yourself camping this weekend. Get relaxed, get chilled, and respect each other, respect the places you're staying in. If you're a campsite owner, just welcome some people. Put a smile on your face. Costs you nothing to smile.
And that's it. If you are getting out there and you're thinking of booking somewhere, maybe maybe we've influenced you with some of these topics. Maybe you go, and like with all things, your experience should be the best. You should be greeted well. you shouldn't be charged too much for various other things. But, they're just little, we were having a bit of fun just compiling our list. But hopefully you agree with some of those things. So
I had good fun writing that list today, to be honest.
It's quite
I thought it was quite,
wasn't it?
I'm going to have a big whinge-fest today. All right, then. What's number one? And I wasn't meaning that you annoy me. It's just, so don't be offended by you being top of my list. But, you're my big brother.
I am starting to. I have recently, made some quite big life-changing things, but also listening to Tom the other day has really made me start to think about trying to be less of a consumer because of those things as well. So, Amazon, Facebook, they're all there. I promote Yeti quite a lot. They don't pay me to do anything like that. I like their stuff. There's a load of people that like the stuff, and I like to have the chat and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm starting to go, oh, actually, this is the thing that's, I always want that next big thing. And I'm going to have to really start not doing that. And I think that's a good thing. So thanks to Tom. Hope he's listening. I'm looking forward to this weekend and hopefully catching up with some new friends, being in the environment that I love, catching up with you, and burning stuff.
Cool. Well, we shall call it a day there on whinge-fest 2024, and we will see you next week with someone else to talk about. Take care. I've been Tim.
I've been Ade.